Hello, everyone. We're going to go a little more into the three branches today. Just to review, the three branches of the U.S. government are there's a legislative branch, which is Congress, which has the Senate and House of Representatives. And for the Senate, there's two senators from every state. So California has two, Virginia has two. And House of Representatives is based on population. There's also the executive branch, which is the president, vice president, and cabinet members. And then there's the judicial branch, which is the Supreme Court and federal courts. So the legislative branch, Article 1 of the Constitution describes the powers of the legislative branch. And here are the powers of the legislative branch. They craft bills, and this just means the legislative branch creates laws. Bills is just a law. They overturn vetoes to pass bills. So if the president says no to a law, Congress can still create the law with a two-thirds vote. So two-thirds of Congress have to vote and say yes to the law. They can impeach the president. So Congress has the ability to remove the president from office. So if the president did something bad that was illegal, Congress can vote and kick him out of office. The legislative branch can also declare war. So Congress has the ability to go to war with another country. They can approve or reject presidential appointments. So all this means is Congress has to approve anyone the president picks for a job. If they don't like someone the president chooses for a job in the cabinet, they can say no, and that person will not get that job. And they have what's called the power of the purse. And that just means Congress decides how to use tax money. They decide how much to spend, where the money's going to go. So they're in charge of the money for the country. Next is the executive branch. And Article 2 of the Constitution describes the powers of the executive branch. And here are the powers of the executive branch. They approve bills. So the president can approve laws made by Congress. The president can veto bills. So this means the president can reject, which means say no to laws made by Congress. So if the president doesn't like a law that Congress made, he can say no. He can veto it. But then Congress can still approve it afterwards. He directs the military. I'm just going to fix that word real quick. Should say directs. That just means the president is responsible for the military. He cannot declare war. Remember, Congress does that, the legislative branch, but the president controls the military. The president makes foreign policy. So the president works with other countries to make deals and enforce laws. The president is responsible for making sure laws are followed. Then there's the judicial branch. Article 3 of the Constitution describes the powers of the judicial branch. I'm going to fix that as well. Remember, the Constitution is the laws of the United States, and Article 3 says what the judicial branch is allowed to do. So here are the powers of the judicial branch. They interpret laws. The judicial branch decides if laws are fair and if they are being followed correctly. So Congress makes laws, but the judicial branch decides how it should be followed. They decide if laws are constitutional. So the judicial branch makes sure that laws that Congress create follow the Constitution. If they do not follow the Constitution, they can actually get rid of the law. They decide court cases. So they listen to court cases and make decisions. So they're the ones that decide if a law is going to be heard or not, or someone says somebody did something illegal. They're the ones that hear the court cases. And they also settles cases between two or more states. So if states have disagreements, the judicial branch decides it. So let's say Virginia says Maryland's not paying enough money and they owe money. The judicial branch will listen to the case and they'll say either, yes, you're right, Virginia, you're not doing anything. Maryland owes you money, so they have to pay. Or they can say, no, they don't have to pay. But if states have a disagreement, the judicial branch decides it. That's it for today. If you guys have any questions, let me know.